Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be here. Good to be back with you all. I'm so happy with the progress that you've made as you've been working on these things, and now we get to finally enjoy the fruits of all that learning and draw and paint from photographs of people that we especially love. What's up? He's fixing something. Um, so, Manette, you're going to be horrified to realize that the picture I chose is a picture of you.
There are better subjects, Ma.
I've already done one of Alana and one of
True.
Chris.
True. That is a good point.
Okay.
And Melanie.
Here,
Yes.
yep. Yeah, and Melanie, and actually from as Domir, even though it was from the back, he was fishing. So it's your turn. Um, I think what I'm going to do, because some of you want to continue pictures that you started last month, last semester, and I'm going to just let you do that. Some of you, I think, are going to need some review of our process, and so some review of the way we did the drawing. And I want to get Liberty up to speed with the way we're handling these things. Liberty, do you have drawing supplies with you this morning?
I should be around here somewhere. Where did
Okay,
that case go?
okay,
Oh, here it is. Perfect.
okay. Because I am going to start out with drawing. I'm going to first do a little screen share and remind everybody, Minette, you weren't here last semester either, so you're going to need some instruction on what we're doing. Are you doing watercolor?
I am ready here. I've got my notebook and I've got my pencil, my charcoal.
Good. Okay, good. All right. I'm going to share the screen with the drawing exercises that we started in the fall. Remember, okay, so Liberty, how much drawing have you had when it comes to drawing people's faces?
Mm, Pretty good. I think
You,
probably not perfect, but I've gotten a gist of it, I think.
okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand about this line right here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That line? Okay, all right. And I'll just remind everybody else that this line is the center of the face. It's the center of the face as you're looking straight onto the face. So if in the case of this one, we're looking at a little bit to the side. He's got his ear, but we can't see the other ear. So we're looking a little bit to the side. So that means that this center line won't be in the middle of the drawing. It would be in the middle of his face, but not in the middle of the drawing. Um, Also, this part of his face, this right up to this line right here, this is the front plane of his face. And this over on this side is the side plane. Now, if you feel on your own face, you can tell that there's a front and a side to your face. So one of the first things we want to establish in our drawing is this center line and the front plane compared to the side plane of the face. These lines across are guidelines for the eyes. This would be his eyebrows. This would be the center of his eye. That'd be the bottom of his eye. This is his nose. This is his mouth. And this is his chin. Now, one of the ways that you can think about with these eye guidelines and this front plane and side plane, that this front, if you know about somebody who wears glasses, this is the front of the glasses, and this is the side of the glasses that goes back to your ear. So you can see how the ear is right in between the eyebrows and the bottom of the nose. So when you sketch his ear, you know it's going to be right in between these lines right here. You need to make it bigger than you think you're going to want to make it. People's ears are bigger than you expect. This kind of shows the outline of the face. You see these straight lines. They give us a sense of how much room the face is going to take, the head, I mean, is going to take on your paper. So you don't want to start with the outline of his face. You really kind of want to start with just a basic square that'll show. It can be a square, or it doesn't have to be a square. It can just be some sketchy lines that show the top of his head, his chin, what you can see of the left side of his head and what you can see of the right side of his head. So these sketchy lines, you see how it's kind of a sketchy square, but it doesn't have to be a perfect square. You just want to give us a sense of where that head is going to fit on your page. The reason you need to start that, if you start with that center line and you've got it too far over to the left, for instance, then this part of his face might run off the page, or you might be trying to fit it in and it doesn't fit in and it looks awkward. So kind of give yourself these measurements first to let you know where it's all going to fit. Then the center line. Then you can give us the contour. This is called the contour, the edge of what you can see of his face. It's called the contour. These are all guidelines. Most of this is going to get erased or drawn over, and but this is where you start. Now this is the next thing that happens. You want to start giving, this right here is not his eyes. This is the hollow in his skull where the eyes will fit. And you see how it's got it in between these guidelines, the eyebrows here, bottom of the eye down here. So we really avoid drawing the eye until further on in the process. The reason is we want to get the eyes in the right place. So we're trying to set up the place where the eyes will be as they sit in the head. Eyes are not just glued on the front. They sit inside the head. We want to show the front plane of his nose and the side plane of his nose. The nose has a front plane and a side plane, just like the head does. We want to show this bottom plane of his nose. This little shadowed bottom part is the bottom plane of his nose. Let's see if I have a nose in here. I do have a nose. If we have trouble with the nose, I have a plaster nose I can show you. And then this, we're beginning to show how his mouth fits in to his face. Now this guy is going to be an older guy. It's the artist who did this lives in China. He lives right now in actually, I'm not sure. He doesn't live in China. He lives in Taiwan, I think, or one of those. I'm sorry to be so ignorant about that, but I wasn't thinking about it. Anyway, that's where he lives. He doesn't speak English, but his daughter does. He and his daughter made the book that I'm referring to for these drawings, and he did the drawings and she did the writing, and the model that he used is an old guy that sweeps the street. This is, see now, finally, remember this shape that was in here, that to show the shape of the skull? This shape actually is also part of the shape of the skull, but in this case it's going to become his eye bags because he's an older gentleman. And finally you show his eyes. You see this guideline right across here. Now notice that the eyes are not shaped the way people draw eyes in, I don't know, cartoons or whatever. They're shaped the way they look. The artist was very careful to see that his eyes are shaped this way. And this eye is smaller because it's further away. The artist began to really shade in the shading underneath the guy's nose, the wings of his nostrils, the shading of his top lip. His top lip is going to be quite shadowy. And there's going to be a shadow underneath his bottom lip and a shadow underneath his chin. So this is where the artist begins to sort of show the curve. The center line is still here, but you can see that it curves back at the top of his head. He's showing that. And this is where the artist begins to really break things down so that you can really begin to see the shape of this guy and see the details of his face. I think that's all I put on here of that guy. No, there he is. There he is, the next stage. He's beginning to shade in. Shading in
All the
shadows on the right side of his face. Yeah. And the right side of his mouth, I mean, you see on the right side of his nose, he's got shadows. So he begins to get the shading. Now this drawing gets very involved, and I'm not going to show you the whole thing right now. I'll show it to you later if you want to see it, because you'll forget these early steps if I get into this artist is just so amazing. But we do the same early steps when we're going to paint. And that is what I want to paint for my daughter. I'm going to give a mark for the top of her head, bottom of her chin and the sides, and how far down it goes to her collar, because I want to include all of this and have it be, centered nicely on my page. I also printed out a printout of her that is exactly the same size as what I want to draw. So that'll make it easier for me. So I'll show you, I'll go ahead and get started with a drawing of her. And if you have your photograph ready, you can be doing yours too. Do you have the right kind of drawing tablet that you could put it on the easel so I can see what you're doing?
I don't think so. I think we weren't able to find that at the place we went to.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and leave it on the table then? For the drawing part, a lot of people just draw on their table.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you'll have to do is hold it up and show me what you've done. I just want to make sure you're understanding it. Minette, are you with us on this?
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Okay. You have a photograph you want to use?
I want to find out what kind of photograph, what we're doing. It looks like we could just pick any photograph, really, because if you're going to have me look it upwards, I could pick something. I guess I didn't need to have somebody's voice.
Oh, a photograph that's straight on is fine, but I really wanted to do one of you. And one of the things I try to avoid is people grinning.
And that's the thing.
And that was the only one I could find. You weren't grinning, so
yeah, I do a lot of smiling. Sorry about that, Ma. Now I know
is fine.
Taking pictures of me, that works.
Yeah, no, smiling is fine. In photographs, they look great, but in paintings or drawings, if these lines get too harsh and the teeth wind up taking up too much attention, we would rather have the attention be on the eyes.
Okay, see, that's why I was actually hadn't picked something, because I was kind of wanting to know what it is we're supposed to be looking for. So that's good.
That's all. Just a photo, like if I'm like this, don't show it. But if I'm like this, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Good. Okay.
Or anybody else. Now, everybody, take a look at Minette right now. See the way she's not smiling, but you see how she has a dark side and a light side on her face? Can you see that, Minette? That dark side and the light side, it's also, it's very good to have that if you can find a photograph that has that, because now you have the right shadows on the face, and it helps you find the volume of the face so that you can shade it. I'll get into a little bit more of that later on, but right now I'm going to review the drawing. Anybody who feels like they'd like a review of that, who are we missing here? I guess we're not. So anybody who would like a review of the drawing, I'm going to go over to my other camera and show you that. And I'd like you to do it with me. Anybody who wants to review it. This is the drawing book that I'm working with. Let me get zoomed in real tight on this. The final drawing of that elderly gentleman is in here. Yeah, here he is. That's the final drawing of him. Just an excellent, sensitive portrayal of this man, just excellent. This guy's name is Mao Kun Yim. The book is called Lessons in Masterful Portrait Drawing. Iris Yim is his daughter. She's the one that did the writing. And this is just amazing. Excellent, beautiful book. So let's say that I was going to copy this drawing right here. First thing I would do is I'm using a skewer for my measuring device. And I'm going to draw, my drawing over here will be the same size as this one. So first thing I'm going to do is see the size from the top of the head to the chin is like this. So here we have the size. I move it right over like this. This is called sight size drawing. Liberty, are you already familiar with site size drawing? Liberty, are you there? She must be getting a... Okay. Are you familiar with site size drawing? Oh, well. We're going to assume she is. So here's from the top of the head to the chin.
I
And
think
then
she's back on camera, but she's muted. So
Liberty, unmute so I can hear you. I'm going to be kind of talking back and forth to all of you, so you can go ahead and unmute.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay, because this, like Scott said, it's very interactive. I'll be continuing to talk and have you all kind of be doing the same thing I'm doing. Now you can do your own drawing. It doesn't have to be this one. You can do it on your own reference, your own photograph. But the first thing I did was I measured from the top of her head to her chin. This is called site size drawing. That way it's very easy. That's why I wanted you to have your photograph be the same size as your painting is going to be. So you can do it this way. Now I'm going to measure from side to side. Like that. Now she basically is going to fit inside this square. I'm not making a real hard drawing of the square. And she's going to have a little bit of her neck down here. So there's the square. And now I want to show where the center of her face is. Now you can see how the center in this pose, this center line that goes right down her face, is off to the side. So I'm going to put it quite a bit off to the side. I'm going to even measure how far off to the side. Here's the side right here. And this at the top of her nose, in between her eyes, that's where the center line goes. It also goes right at the little curlicue on her lips here. It's going to go there. It goes basically right through there. So I'll see how far away from my from this line, this center line is. It's going to be right there. Okay, so now this doesn't have to be a straight line because our face is a little bit curved, so it can be just slightly, not very much curved, but just ever so slightly curved. Okay, I'd like anybody who's doing this exercise to go ahead and do it now. And then I want to see it.
I found my picture I want to do. I have to print it up, Mom. Sorry about that.
Pardon me?
I found a picture I want to do. I think
Yeah.
it worked well.
Yeah.
I need to stuff. So
Okay.
I run off to do that. But
Okay. All right.
I can catch up.
Okay. Teresa, hold it a little bit less in the light. The light is blowing it out. I still can't see it. Would you take a photo of it and send me the photo?
Yeah, my pencil's not dark enough, I guess, or wide enough or something.
Well, it's
Yeah.
yeah, I can't see Liberty's
Mine's
drawing
fresh,
either. So take a photo of it and just text it to me. Who else is doing this exercise? Elaine? Okay. Want to show me what you've got?
The head is, I don't know if you can see it.
Okay, yours is on the slant.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and you've got your other marks are at right angles to that center mark, which is exactly what we need to do. Let the center line go all the way through the eyes the way you've got them. That should go all the way through because it's what that is it's a mark right between the eyes.
It was,
at the
but
top of the nose.
I erased it when I redid the eyes because they weren't right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Who else is doing this exercise? Anybody else? Okay, Liberty, you sent it to me?
It's kind of.
Okay.
Mine's not light enough. I'll send it.
Okay, I got Teresa's. Yeah, Teresa, that's right. You got it right. That's right. Okay, let me look at Liberty's. I don't have Liberty's yet.
Sorry.
And Mom, I just sent you the picture of what I think would work. You can let me know if that's good enough.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's going to be really good.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
delightful. Who is that?
That's Blondine, my goddaughter.
That's Blondine, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so cool. That is awesome. I'm so glad that you've stayed in touch with her. Okay, Liberty, let's see what you've got. Yeah, that is like, okay, that's nice. So your photo is pretty much looking right at the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Okay. I'm gonna
Thought
do
I'd
my,
start off easier.
huh?
Thought I'd start off a little bit easy on myself.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
Mhm.
Okay, and Elaine, do you have one yet?
I just showed it to you.
You did, yeah, and I saw it. Okay, so the four of you. Is anybody else doing this drawing exercise that has not spoken to me yet?
Well, I'm
I
ahead.
am.
Okay,
Pam,
all right.
I am.
All right,
I
Pam,
am.
let me take,
Me too.
looks to me like everybody is. Okay, everybody's going
I'm
through
gonna-
the drawing exercise. So you know what I'm going to have to do? I need to change my view so I can see all of you. Give me a minute here. I have to change my view. All right. Why is this being this way? You know, they every time there's an update, things change just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here we go. All right. Let's see. I wonder why this did this. Oh, because it has dynamic gallery. Okay, that's not what I want. I should not have clicked on it. Huh? Okay, I can see you all now. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just go through alphabetically then. Anne, are you doing the drawing? You're not. Okay.
No, I'm working right now on my husband's pictures, photos.
Yeah,
still,
okay.
so-
Okay.
okay.
Arlene, are you doing the drawing exercise?
I'm drawing, yes.
Okay, I can't see your drawing, but I'm pretty sure you have the idea, right?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, all right. Berta? Berta, are you doing the drawing? Want to hold it up for me or send me a photo of it?
I'm not doing the drawing. I'm going to start a new one that I did the charcoal over the vacation.
Okay, okay, lovely. Yeah.
So
All right.
I'll send you the picture. It's a black and white, so I'll have to invent the colors and all this.
I love that. That is absolutely the way to do it. Okay, and Pam, I got yours. I'm not sure you understand that. I might come back to you, okay?
Okay.
Just hold that thought. I'm going to come back to you. Di Simmons, are you doing the drawing? Or you're painting?
No, I'm drawing.
Okay, all right.
But you're going too slow for me, so I'm just
You're just continuing, right?
continuing.
Okay.
I just can't work that slow. I just stop if I do it that way.
Okay, Elaine and Liberty, I've seen yours already. Minette, you're in process. Rebecca, did I see your drawing? Yeah, that looks fine. That looks good. Thayer, can I see your drawing?
I don't know, but I've only got 2 lines here so far.
Okay, make sure to give us that top of her head and her bottom of her chin and the distance from her left side to the back of her head. Go ahead and measure it. Do size measuring because
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
important. You might not get it right if you don't. Okay, and Teresa, I saw yours. All right. Okay, I need to come back to a couple of you. So, Pam?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to come back to you now, okay?
Yep.
On this square isn't just a random square. The head is going to fit inside this square and go right up to the edges of it. This is what I'm drawing. That means that the square is across the top of her head, her chin, this side, and the back of her hair. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And this center line goes all the way through from the top of her head to the bottom of her chin. So what I saw on yours was a square with an X in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. I
So-
see what, yeah,
See-
I didn't,
see-
yes, I will correct that. I didn't do the square of the head.
Yeah, the square
Okay.
of the head. That's what this square is.
Okay.
And I think, Di, I saw something similar on yours, but I think what you're doing is a slightly more complicated square. Don't get too involved. We're not really drawing the contour of the face yet. The contour goes along their chin and along the side of their face, and we're not there yet. So don't start with that. Just start with something that will let you know that the head is going to fit inside this shape right here. Now, I want to see how far down from the top of her head her eyebrows are. So I'm measuring from the top of her head to her eyebrows. Liberty, do you understand how to do this measuring with your finger or your thumb? Okay,
Yes.
you've had some good instruction already. I'm glad. All right, so I'm measuring from the top of her head to her eyebrow. The top of her head is this line right here, measuring down to her eyebrow. And I'm going to make this go across like that. Not all the way across, because you see, here's the front plane of her face, and here's the side plane of her face. The side plane of her face starts right here. And remember that I talked about if she was wearing glasses, the glasses would go this way, and then the earpiece would go back like that. So it's not going to be, there's some linear perspective over here on this side plane. So on the front plane, we have this line for our eyebrows. I'll see how far over that side plane is. It's right about there. So the side plane is right about here. Remember how I showed you how that Chinese guy did that. It's not a real straight line. It kind of curves back. This right here is her temple. And if you feel on your own forehead, you can feel the bone has a little ridge right there and a little ridge that goes around the eye. I'd like you all to feel that right now. There's a bone on the forehead and a little ridge that goes around the eye. And that's the angle for the top part of that side plane. Goes around the eye a little bit, and then it kind of just comes down to the mouth. It might be straight down, it might be a little bit of an angle. But now this is the side plane. So here's her eyebrows. Make sure I'm getting this at the right place. And then a line for right across the corners of her eyes. This corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. There's going to be a line going right across the corners of her eyes. Right there. And then another line going across the bottom. And you see how even though this is not an older person, there's a shadow there, right there. That's because the eye is actually a fairly large ball that fits inside there. And this ball comes around and makes a shadow. If the light is coming from up here, there's going to be a shadow at the bottom of it. Does that make sense? I have an orange to show you, but my orange is kind of dented up, so I'm not going to show you that. You'll just have to know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's going to be for the shadow under her eye. Now going back to her ear is going to be sort of converging back here. It's perspective, linear perspective. So these lines are going to converge going back toward her ear. But I'm not going to draw her ear yet because we need to do her nose. So these are the lines, guidelines for her eyes. Now we come down to her nose. We put a guideline for the bottom of her nose. Okay, it goes right across this center point from the top of her nose, right in there, to the bottom of her nose. Now the top of her nose goes right in between the eyebrows. So from right in between the eyebrows to the bottom of her nose, and that's this bottom part down here where it touches the skin of her upper lip, right down there. We're not drawing the line to match the tip of her nose or the wing of her nostril. We're drawing it to match this low part where if you have a runny nose, that's what you have to wipe, okay? That's the bottom of her nose. And then we go from this eyebrow line to the middle of her lips. And that's right there.
How could that be?
Now this looks pretty silly so far, but these are just guidelines. And now we're going to put in a couple more guidelines for her upper lip. I don't think I need to measure that. I think I can see it. And then her lower lip.
3 3/4.
And now we can do her ear because that's right between her eyebrows and her nose. And it's kind of at a slant.
4 3/4.
Okay. Does anybody need more time? Say yes if you do.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and continue. I want to start blocking in, and I'm going to do this with lines, short lines that are almost straight. I'm not going to try to copy the contour of her face as a contour drawing. That's not what I'm doing now. But I'm going to kind of begin to block in some of these angles, like right here, where the side plane meets the top of her hair. There's an angle right there for the back of her head. And I'm going to just sort of block in that. Now I'll kind of block in this part of her hair that goes behind her ear, and I'll leave enough room here for her ear. You see how these are all sketchy lines. These are block in kind of lines. This comes down. I see there's this nice bit of hair that starts just beyond this side plane line, starts right up there, just beyond it. So I'm going to do that. You see how I'm excuse me?
Yeah.
Pam, is that you or Pat? Rebecca?
Not me.
Okay.
That was me. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Now, the top of her head to the center line of her head goes right up here, and it begins to curve back right here, right there. So here's the center line of her head. I'm going to take it up to here, and this is where that's going to begin to curve back. And her hair part is right to the right of it. I'm beginning to just get basic sketchy ideas of her contour. See, I can bring this down to this line for her eyebrow. And then it comes in to the corner of her eye. It comes back out again and comes in to where it crosses her nose. Now, I haven't drawn her nose yet, so I might not really have a good grasp of exactly where this line will be. So this is just going to be a little sketchy thing that I won't really finish very much. I'm not going to hold myself to this line right here because it's related to her nose, and we haven't drawn her nose yet. So this is just to get a basic idea of where the head will be. And then her jawline around here, the hair coming down here, and her front of her neckline. So you see how now this is still very, very much just done with sketchy lines, but we can absolutely see that this is a person. It no longer looks quite so weird. So I'd like you guys to get to this point, and then I'll start going through with you one at a time.
Maybe.
And have you show me what you got.
Thought it was fine, and then I started measuring everything and it was all off.
Yeah, actually, I do it that way too. I like to start out with a basic measurement and then go into sketching by eye, and then measure it to make sure if it's right. A lot of times it's right, but if I don't like to measure every single speck because it can get really tedious and look pretty stiff, you know. But I can use the measuring to double check, and so if I draw it first and then come back and double check it with measuring, then I can correct it. And I kind of like to do that.
Yeah, and because it's a child's face, the proportions are very different than from an adult face, aren't they?
Yeah, the reason that I don't teach proportion drawing, I mean, like some people say the eye should be an eye width apart and stuff like that. Some people have close set eyes and some people have wide set eyes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody's different. That's what makes everybody unique, and that's what makes portraits unique. So I prefer just to measure from that subject.
Well, it's all wrong anyway, so.
Now on what you're looking at on the screen, my drawing looks a little wider than the drawing on the book, and that's because of the camera lens. The camera lens widens things out to the side. So just do yours accurately. Trust that I'm doing mine accurately and that the camera is distorting it a little bit. Okay, does anybody need more time?
Well, you want to see what I've got so far?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to need to work with you, Di. So don't work anymore. Let me get back to you, okay? I know. All right. Teresa, how does yours look?
I'll send you a picture.
Okay.
It's on its way.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, I think you're doing it fine. Yeah, you're doing a good job, Teresa. It looks good.
Okay.
I don't see the front plane and side plane of the face, though. You need to establish that for me.
Okay. Yep. Yep. I have it. Yep.
Yeah, establish that. And those lines that go to her ear are probably going to change at the side plane of her face because this is not a 3/4 view, but we are looking at her from the side.
Yeah. And mine don't have any ears. Thank goodness.
Okay. All right. But do show the side plane for us. I need
Okay.
to
I'll
see
get
that.
the side planes in there.
Okay. All righty. Thayer?
Well, I'm struggling.
Okay. Do you need me to give you some help?
Well, I can't seem to I've got it just backwards from what you're doing, so I'm trying to.
Oh, you mean mine is looking to the right and yours is looking to the left?
Yes.
Well, it's the same idea. You have that line going through her head.
Yeah.
At an angle. No, not that curve. Yours is pretty straight. Make it a straight line, would you, Thayer? Because last time I suggested a gentle curve and you made it really strongly curved. So
Okay.
just use a straight line.
Here's my straight line right here.
Good. Okay, and that's going to be the center point of her face, right?
Which would be on here would be coming down by the edge of her eye.
No, it goes through her nose.
Oh, through her nose.
And that's not the center point of your drawing. It's the center point of her face.
Which is my center line here is the
That
center
goes through,
line right through her nose. Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
It goes through her nose and through the middle of her lips and between her eyes.
Middle of the lips and okay, I'm going
And that you've got that straight and it's at a slant, right?
it should be over this way and just slightly curved back toward that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Okay, I'm going to try to remember everything you said. No problem.
Okay.
No promises. But
all right. Okay. Okay, Rebecca, can I see yours? Double check the that rounded cheek that's on her left. Yeah, double check that measurement and double check the measurement for the forehead. Pam?
Yes, ma'am.
I see yours.
Okay. Part of my challenge is that the side of the head is in shadow. So let me just.
So you have a lost edge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'm trying to do it anyway.
the nose.
Give us the
Let me see.
guidelines for the corners of his eyes. It's not quite time to give us the shape of the eye holes yet, where they're going to fit the skull. We just need straight lines that go straight through the corners of his eyes.
Okay.
But I like how you did his lower jaw. That looks good.
Okay.
Okay, Minette, how's yours? You're muted.
So I show it to you on the camera, or you want me to show it, just send you a picture?
I don't know. If it's dark enough, just hold it up and I'll see it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I realize it's too small. Like I'm gonna have a hard time using charcoal to get everything the way I want to go. It's just too small.
It doesn't have to be real detailed.
Okay, cool.
This is just, you're doing fine because, charcoal is more like paint than pencil is.
Yeah, it's an awful lot of fun. And this is
It's fun though, isn't it? Yeah,
These are really cute. This is a really cute picture. So
it really is. Okay, that looks good. Liberty, can I see yours?
Through the nose.
There we go. Let's see. It's kind of light. I'll send you a photo of it.
Okay, all righty. Elaine, can
Yeah,
I see yours?
this is my model, and I'm
Yeah.
doing it on a piece of paper this big. So I went over the
Yeah.
edge and it's all wrong. I can show you. So I'm starting on a bigger piece of paper and doing like you did is map it
Okay.
out.
Okay.
So I should be up to there in a second, but I'll show you what I did. You'll understand why I'm starting over. Because in your email you said get the image to be the same size.
Yeah.
And so I'm going off the edge.
Oh, okay.
I would have had to reduce it. So
yeah. We want to just be doing it one to one.
So I'm doing it this way now.
Okay, that'll be better. Now, don't give us eye-shaped eyes yet. We're just doing those guidelines that go through the corners of the eyes.
Yeah. But I started going past.
Okay, Di, I'm coming back to you. And Berta, can I take a look at what you've got?
Yep. I sent you a photo that I'm working from.
Okay, I'll look at that. Arlene?
Yes.
Whoever has a train, would you mute yourself?
Oh.
Okay, Arlene, can I take a look at what you've got? Okay, that looks good. Actually, send me a photo if you would, Arlene. There's some things I want to double check on. Berta,
Right.
I'm looking at your, oh, that's really excellent, Berta. That photo you have, that's going to be an excellent drawing. And, okay, Liberty, I see your image. Give us a guideline that goes, oh, you've given us, Liberty, you've given us a guideline that goes right through the corners of the eyes, and so that's fine. You've also given us the side planes. That's fine, that looks good. Okay, Di Simmons.
Yeah, I've sent you 2 photos, I think. I think it was 2.
Okay, I see what's confusing me. You changed that center line.
Right?
The center line is wrong, okay?
The line was wrong?
The center line is what's wrong. It should just be a line. It doesn't have to have an angle in it.
Oh.
Just have it go straight down between her eyes, right between her nostrils, and right at the little philtrum, right down the philtrum, straight down to her chin.
Ah.
Okay.
That would change everything.
That makes a lot of difference, doesn't it?
All right. It does.
Okay, that'll make a difference. All righty. Arlene, I see your image. Oh, that's nice. He's completely in shadow. He's backlit, so that changes some things. And I'm going to show you what I did. I have a couple of paintings I did where their lighting is different. So you'll need to imagine where the side plane is on his face, Arlene, because you can't see it. So you'll need to put it on with your memory.
Yes.
And Liberty, your situation is similar. The side plane on your subject is that area where it's slightly oranger than the rest of it. That's the side plane on one side. The side plane on the other side, you're going to have to imagine it. But you're doing a good job with it. All right. Okay.
Gail.
Yes?
I'll be quiet. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go on to the next phase now.
Yeah.
Can you all see me in my drawing? Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is start showing the front plane and side plane of the nose. Now, this line right here goes between her nostrils. There's one nostril, there's the other nostril. This line goes between them. So, of course, when we finish, this won't be something we'll be seeing anymore. No. But you can see on Mr. Yim's drawing The side plane is shaded and the front plane is not shaded. And I'm going to see if Scott can get that nose down for me. Scott, are you there? He might have gone to the store. Hey, Scott, could you get the nose down for me from the shelf? Thank you.
I hate doing this, Gail.
You hate what?
I hate doing this. It's like I just hate it.
I'm with you.
Like, don't you just want to go do something else?
That would be no.
Okay, so here's this nose.
Oh, I can't paint like y'all, so this is just fine by me.
Oh.
All right. So the center line that we just drew goes right between the nostrils, right there, through the middle inside of the nose, up to between the eyebrows. So the nose sticks out like this, it sticks out, and this is the side plane. So if you're doing a profile of someone, you're going to just see the side plane. You won't see very much of the front plane at all. Arlene, you kind of have that going on.
Yes.
All righty, now if I can give us some shadow here. When I begin to turn it, you can begin to see the front plane, which is here. Can you see a little bit of shading here?
Mm-hmm.
You see it looking real light here and a little bit of shading here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the front plane. And if you feel on your own nose, you can feel that there's that bone that sticks down in here. And then feel that bone on the front and feel it on the side, on either side. And that's what we're looking at here. Then we have the bottom plane, which is right here. If you're looking at him from the front, if he's looking up, you'll be able to see the bottom plane. It'll look like a triangle. We had to take down a tree, and there's so much glare from the next door house that I think I'm going to have to put shades in these windows. But maybe this will help. Here's the front plane, the side plane. Here's the front plane. Comes straight down to here. I'm going to make a little mark on it. Okay, now when I tilt it, the bottom plane is this triangular piece. Now when you're looking right at the bottom of somebody's nose, you see it as a triangle. But when you're looking more at the front, you can see how this part of the triangle, this top point, gets smaller. So it's more of a squished triangle, but it's still a triangle. Okay, so if you see, there's this line, there's this side, and then there's this triangle at the bottom. So if I were to draw this, the way I'm describing it to you, you can see this top plane. I have a line that I've drawn that goes through the middle of it, between the eyebrows and then between the nostrils. So here's my center line. Now, from where I'm standing, we can see a little more of this side than we can of this side. So that means the center line is going to be a little bit left of the top plane, but it comes down like this. I can measure it.
The nostril.
See, this line right here is where the bottom triangle starts. So here's the top plane, comes down like this. Here's the side plane. And I don't measure like that, I measure like this. It's sticking out to there for the wing of the nostril. And on this part, it's sticking out to to there. So here's the side plane. This other side plane I can just barely see. The wing of the other nostril is going to be opposite the first one I drew. Okay. I don't know if I'm making this dark enough. And then this triangle at the bottom is very small, but it's there. So now the way to shade it in and make it look realistic, this side plane, there's a lot of shadow between, right in here, between the wing of the nostril and the nose. There's less shadow here, and then there's more shadow as we get closer to the eyes. That's happening on this side too. There's a lot of shadow here. There's less shadow in here, but a little bit of shadow all the way along this side. Not as much on the wing of the nostril. Not much shadow at his cheekbone, and more shadow again as we get up to the eyes. And then there's this shadow down here at the bottom. Now these lines are all straight because this is that stage we're at. We make things more curved later on, but this is the way to think about drawing a nose. Try to find the front plane, the side plane, and this bottom triangle. On photographs, sometimes it's hard to find that. So if you can't see it, you're going to have to invent it. Does that make sense?
Well, Gail, I have a question that came to mind because you're drawing, as you were drawing, you said, okay, so I'm drawing this straight down, not at the angle. Now,
Right.
That's assuming that the person is looking directly at you, doesn't
No,
have
not
his
quite
head
directly. I'm seeing it more from the side.
Well, I asked that because of the woman's tilted head in my case. Would it be easy? Maybe I should, I don't know if you can see, but if I tilted my sample.
No,
then
no. You just tilt the whole thing. Here, yeah. If he was tilted like that,
Yes, that's right. Yes.
then my first line, like I just told you, that first guideline, and remember
Yes.
your guideline was wrong, so you hopefully redrew it.
I redrew it.
It's just a straight line.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we've got these lines at perfect right angles for the eyebrows, the corners of the eyes,
Yes, yes.
bottoms of the eyes, bottom of the nose, right? And they have to be at perfect right angles to that tilt. Are you with me on that?
Yes.
The center line, and these are at right angles to it.
Yes.
The way you draw it is going to be the same. It's going to be, here's the front plane of the nose following your guideline, right?
Right.
Side planes, wings of the nostrils, side planes.
Well, I knew that. What I was saying was, since our brains don't usually hold our own heads at a tilt, that I was thinking to put something under the, well, it won't make sense to you.
Yeah, you don't have to tilt the drawing. Just.
But that's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you tilt the drawing.
Okay.
Or if you tilt your reference. Just tilt that center line, that first center line.
Yeah, it's already tilted. Yeah.
Okay, and then the nose is going to follow that center line.
Right.
The top plane of the nose.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Have I talked to everybody?
It's 11 o'clock.
Okay, it's time for a break. Yeah, it's time for a break. Let's go have a break. It's going to be a 10-minute break. And stretch. Let me get my camera back. There we go. Anyway, we have a break every hour, a 10-minute break every hour. It's really a good idea to get up and stretch, get your mind off of what you're doing, because if you don't take a break, you might be going down a road and getting it wrong, and you won't realize that you're getting it wrong. So you take a break and then you come back with fresh eyes and you can see if you had something wrong. So I do that every hour when I'm painting, and it's just a good idea to get away from what you're doing. So everybody, the smart thing to do now is going to be to get up and stretch
Hey,
and do something
Gail,
else. Yeah.
can I just remind everybody, if you don't mute yourself, any conversation that you're having in your home, we can all hear it.
Yeah, and mute yourself, and yeah. All right. So see you later. 10 minutes. How are you feeling, Minette?
Pretty tired. Pretty
Are you?
tired.
Yeah, it's late in the day.
Yeah. No, Demir is pretty tired too. So we're getting there. We're hanging in. We're doing
You
it.
still have some good daylight.
We do. Yes, we do. And cherry trees out, red buds are out, lilacs are out,
Oh, lovely.
daffodils are gone, tulips are up. And I also have some orchids. I saw somebody's orchids were out today.
Orchids. Wow.
That was really bizarre, but whatever. It seems a little
Yeah.
early. There was some orchids. So
That's
yeah.
cool.
And forsythia's on the way out. It's done. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw some azaleas. I saw a couple of azalea bushes already blooming.
My azaleas
wonderful.
are out. The lilies of valleys are out.
The lilies of the valley are out.
It's like 2-3 weeks early.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
It's so hot.
I love lily of the valley. I just love it.
Yeah, we're kind of having a delayed spring. We had a really cold front that kept like going hot and warm, hot and cold.
Yeah. It's
all
been
the
doing that
flowers
here
died.
too. Do you have any flowers out right now?
Not too much. We had is it just like daisies out a while?
Yeah.
Daisies. Okay.
Well, I've had my early irises are done, and the old-fashioned blue ones, they came out last week, and they're on their way being done now. And Teresa gave me some modern blue ones that aren't out yet. I have some like those purple and gold ones that I always have. They're not even budding yet, but my buttercups are done.
I think our hydrangeas should be coming out.
Really?
Starting to. Maybe.
Wow.
I think still early though.
So do you live south of Atlanta?
South? Maybe.
Southeast
it's like
of Atlanta?
It's down.
Okay,
I'm not very good
okay.
with maps, but it's down.
Okay.
I used to live near Decatur. Decatur.
Decatur?
Yeah. But I used to always love going to the botanical gardens. And
Oh,
also, the botanical gardens. And I also love
my grandma loves that.
Callaway
place.
Gardens. Callaway Gardens.
Oh, yeah, Callaway.
Yeah.
All of those are so good.
Fun. Those were my two favorite spots. I just love those places. They were awesome.
There's a lot of good gardens. There's this really cool, what is it called? But it's this art museum place that I've been going to, and it's like, what's it? I can't remember what it's called for some reason. But it's this guy that just like did art when he was like in his 80s, like all over his like home. It's really cool.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
I can remember the name.
Next time.
Next time I'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. I'm going to get started with the demonstration again. So I've been talking about nose. I just want you to understand that about the nose. Sometimes it's hard to draw a nose, especially from a photograph, because very often the photograph doesn't give you the information you need. So I wanted you to understand all that. So what I'll be doing now is I'm going to establish where this corner of the eye is right there. We know that her eyebrow comes up like this, and so the front plane of her nose goes right across the lower part of her eye, and it comes out. I'm not going to draw this little bump here yet. I'm just going to simplify it by making it a straight line that comes out just about to the curve of her cheek. And I think I might need to bring the curve of her cheek in a little bit more right there. So I'm going to measure and double check what I've done, see if I've done it right. And I need to bring this part down a little bit more. Now, from the tip of her nose to the wing of her nostril, going to be about like that. And then the side plane of the nose starts here goes up between her eyes. This little triangle at the bottom starts here, and in this case it's very small, goes back into our guideline, across to the wing of her nose, and like that. So it's like that. That's how her nose looks. So you can do the nose on yours. We're not doing any shading yet, but that's where that is. Now I'm going to double check this part right here where I put this next to this. I have a feeling I might not have it in the right place. So I'm going to double check. I'll measure this, see if it is the same, and it is not. So I'm going to bring this out a little bit and bring this in a little bit, split the difference. And now it's right, okay? Now I want also at this, while I'm working on this area of things, I want to indicate her muzzle. Now the muzzle, people have a muzzle just like animals do. It's just a really small one. It's short. So you can see how this center line, take a look at right here. I'm going to put this in the middle here and zoom in on it because this is important. And Thayer, I want you to really take a look at this because you're going to run into this on yours and you ran into it on the other one too. The center line goes straight through between the eyes to the bottom of the chin. And you see how the mouth sticks out from it a little bit?
Yeah.
This goes through the nostrils. The mouth is going to stick out from it a little bit because of the muzzle. It sticks out a little bit. Animals, dogs, it sticks out a lot. Shih Tzus, it doesn't stick out so much, but humans, it sticks out a little bit. So I'm going to make that stick out a little bit. Like this. You see how I'm sort of drawing? I'm just drawing this part that sticks out. And then what this means is that the lips, the philtrum is sticking out. This little point is over here. It comes down like that. The upper lip comes in right there, right. Gosh, the upper lip comes in. Here's the muzzle sticking out, the upper lip coming in, okay? So the muzzle sticks out, the upper lip comes in, then the lower lip comes out again. Now from this position, that's what I'm drawing. You might not have, all of you might not have that kind of a position. You might not see the muzzle sticking out the way we do here. I know Thayer and I are looking at that and we see it, but this is the time to indicate that. And then the chin, sticks out there. Now the side of the face, a little bit of the side of the face may or may not be visible in there depending on who you're drawing. But this comes in here, then this all sticks out and goes back in again, and then the chin sticks out. Now in the case of this drawing, he has that all shaded in, so I'm not sure if we could see a little bit around her mouth down in here, but I'm not going to show anything there more than what I have. So this is what we're doing now. We're starting to show the three-dimensional part of what's going on in the center of our person's face. So we're not necessarily using curved lines yet. We're still using straight lines. So we're still not doing the eyes. We want to do what's in the center of the person's face. Make that look more three-dimensional. And then I'm going to want to check with you and see how you're doing on it. Anne, while they're working, would you send me a photo of yours so I can see how it's coming along?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
I just painted over the dark shadow right now with a tone I think I like.
Okay.
Again, to refresh
Okay.
it. All right, I just.
Hey, Anne, I got it.
Yeah, I had to figure out how I got that color because it's been a while, so that's what I
Okay.
spent my time on.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's a good color. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be good.
All right. Yeah,
Um,
I used the black and white filter to see how dark it was compared to the photo. It seems like it's lighter than the photo. So
Okay.
that's good.
What I want you to do though, even in the shadow area, it can't just be one color
Okay.
because he has planes that face the ceiling more and planes that face the floor.
Yeah.
So like for instance, if you look on the photo and if you remember what we've learned about anatomy, we know that, and if you feel on your own face where your eye, the orbital bone of your eye,
Yeah.
meets your temple, you feel that it is indented a little bit, and then you feel that it comes out a little bit just below that.
Yes.
And on the photo, his photo, you can barely see a little bit of a shift in value right there.
Okay.
Can you see it on your photo?
Yes. Yeah, I was going to work on that too. I just
Well,
thought
yeah, what I want you to do,
thing.
it's going to be there, and you know that his anatomy continues through the shadowed area just like it is in the light area. He has that muscle on his face that's coming around between his nasolabial fold and his cheekbone. There's that muscle that comes around and makes a form.
Okay.
And it continues into the shadow area. That form continues. So those forms are there, and the way to show it on your painting is not necessarily making it lighter or darker. It's making it cooler or warmer depending on what light it's reflecting. So depending on where you had him sitting, the top planes of those muscles and bones will be reflecting a little bit of the ceiling. So whatever color the ceiling is, add some of that to your shadow color on those top planes.
Okay.
Okay. And any bottom plane, like underneath his chin or anything, it's going to be reflecting from whatever's down there, which in this case looks like it is just his shirt. But it looks like there is a little bit of reflected light on the bottom of his jaw.
Okay.
So look for things like that. The reason we did all this anatomy lesson before doing this from photos is because you have to know the anatomy to figure out how to analyze your photograph.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. I want to look at all of your drawings. Anne, I've just talked to you. I'm going to talk to Arlene. Would you send me a photo of your drawing, Arlene?
Sure. I haven't gotten very far.
Okay. Di Simmons, are we good?
I'm behind.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Check what Arlene has here.
Yeah, I'm like Arlene. I'm just
Okay.
being super cautious.
Okay, Teresa, I got yours. Arlene, you need to work out the anatomy of his nose. I want you to give me the front plane, side plane, and bottom plane of his nose. What you've done is what you're not supposed to do with a nose. So erase his nose and do a better job.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, Teresa, I got yours, but I'm gonna check with Elaine first. Di, I'll skip you because you're behind.
Yeah,
if that's all right. And then Elaine, do you have something you want to show me? You're muted, so I can't hear you.
I just WhatsApp you. I just sent it to you by WhatsApp.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it. Okay. Check the width between her wings of her nose. I think it might be that it should be wider than that.
Yeah.
And in this case, since she's a child, the front plane is going to be quite a bit more curved. It won't be quite as straight as it was with the adult nose that I showed you. It'll be more curved. But other than that, I think it's going to be good. Liberty, do you want to show me what you have at this point?
Can you see that? You can send a photo too.
Yeah, I've got the photo. I think I have the photo. Let me just double check here.
I think I haven't sent the most recent one yet.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, I just sent that to you.
Okay. Okay, I got it. All righty. Now her front plane. Okay, and her muzzle. Double check the width of her mouth. I think her mouth might be a little wider than you've got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk to you about the anatomy that you're going to be working with, but hold off for a few minutes because I need to draw it for you, okay?
Oh, okay.
Let's check with Pam. She sent a picture. Pam, that looks good. That looks good. Teresa?
Okay, thanks.
Teresa, I need to see the side planes a little better. Is this the same photo you had last month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me look at the photo again. Okay, there we go. All right. Would you send that photo to me again? It's too far away for me to. I have to go through many inches before I get to her. So
All right.
I'll check with
Yeah.
Rebecca. Let's see, Rebecca. I don't think I have the photo for that one. Do I have the photo? I don't think I have the photo. Rebecca, would you send me your photo? Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. You need to think about her muzzle. I'm going to talk to both you and Liberty about the muzzle of the child's face, okay? Because I don't think you understand it. And I also want you to double check the width of her face from the right cheek to the left cheek. And also double check what's going on with the cast shadow versus the form shadows on her cheeks, okay? Rebecca, did that make sense?
Yeah, I just don't. I can't find an eraser. I threw some stuff on there that needs to come off.
Okay.
Shadows and stuff. Let me see if I can find one.
Okay. Thayer, how are you doing?
I'm working a little bit on the nose and getting everything kind of straight with the chin. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Okay. All right. And Teresa, I'm going to look at what you just sent. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
I'm ready.
You're ready? Well, you missed your chance. Now I'm talking to Teresa.
Oh, I thought
just give me a minute here.
Diane, really.
Okay, Teresa.
Yep.
Try to use straighter lines at the sketchy stage you've got here. Okay.
Okay.
On her contour of her face, because she has pretty good cheekbones and jawbone on the contour of her face. And with these curved lines you've given us, I'm not seeing it as well as I could if you use straighter lines, okay?
I'll try.
You will be able to. And then double check the measurement between her left cheekbone and her right cheekbone at the contour. And I'm going to draw something for you over here, okay? So here's the way she looks, okay? And what I want you to do with her nose is think about where her front plane is and where the side plane is. Now this is where the light is shining right along here, and this is the edge of her front plane on the left-hand side, where this light is shining, that little highlight.
Yeah.
So the front plane, the edge of it, here's the middle line, okay? And the edge of the front plane has this little bit of light along it. It comes down and over and down, okay? Like what this light does. Now you need to look at where the shadow starts, and the shadow starts over here, okay? And I think that's what let me see. I think that's what you've drawn for us so far. This all the way across here is only the front plane of her nose, from here to here, okay? From here to that little shadow is the front plane of her nose. Now you have to be subtle in looking at it. The side plane starts at this little shadow and it goes down to right here. Do you see this very subtle shift in value right there?
Barely.
You'll be able to see it a little better when you have the photo itself, but you see here's the eye and the under eye. Here's the wing of the nostril, and where the wing of the nostril, between the wing of the nostril and this point of her eye, that's where the side plane of her nose ends, is over here, okay?
Okay.
So here's her eye. Here's the wing of her nostril, and right here is right in here is the side plane, all right? There's a very slight darkness in there. So this is the side plane, this is the front plane, and then over here, see how that's a little bit shiny right there?
Yep.
And you can see it better on your photo, but right there, it's a little bit shiny.
Yeah.
So between this shine and that shine is this side plane. Okay. So here's this eye. It's down like that. Here's the wing of this nostril, and this little shiny place is right here. And the side plane of this nostril is right between them. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, is it making any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just I get, I'll say, lost in how much and I'll use the word detail, how deep into the drawing that I'm supposed to be doing at a particular moment in time?
Yeah, at this point, what we're doing is the nose.
Okay.
See how I am?
Yeah.
Now, front plane, side plane, wing of the nostril, bottom. The way you drew it, I think you only drew the front plane.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, so the side planes, and that's not detail, it's just the way the nose is, you know, right here, and then the wings, and you can't see very much of the bottom the way she is. So just give us a little bit of a bottom like that, like you've done, that works. But give us the side planes. Understand, you need to understand the anatomy, okay?
I'll try.
And you see these lines you've given us right here for her eyes.
Yeah.
These might be too far apart, but the side plane starts at the bottom of the eye and it goes down to the wing of the nostril, which is probably wider than what you've given us, okay? So on your photograph, measure from here to here, okay?
Yeah.
And make that measurement be the same as what you have on your drawing. Measure from here to here, because the nose side plane ends here and here, okay? Make a little dotted line that goes straight up on this side, and make sure that you find where this shiny place is right here and measure from here to here, okay?
Okay.
Because all you need, that's where our detail is right now. We're not doing nostrils, but we are doing structure, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And I just got something from somebody from Di. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, you've got it.
Thank you.
Okay, Liberty, and somebody else is doing a child.
I am.
So I need to show you what to think about the anatomy of a child's muzzle. And whoever has a TV going on, if you would mute, that would help. All right. So in the case of a child's face, the center line is shorter with relationship to the sideline. Let's see here. Why am I getting a little notification? Okay, it's on WhatsApp. I guess Elaine, yeah. Minette, I'll help you with the nose, okay?
Is something happening?
Thank you, Mom.
Okay, and I'm Elaine, I'm going to help you with, several people are doing children, and I want to help you understand about the proportions.
I'm attentive.
Okay, all right. The forehead is going to be bigger. The line for the eyebrows is a little lower than it is on a person.
Yeah.
And then here's the eye, and then under the eye. The nose is going to be shorter than it would be on an older person, and the mouth is going to be shorter. The forehead will be quite a bit longer, taller. Chin will be shorter. So you see how on an older person, these things are more spread out, but on a child, they're kind of all together down here at the bottom. And you see that when you're drawing from your photo. Let's say the side plane is here, and it all fits in there like that. Can you see these lines okay? So here's the side plane. Now, the child has a very rounded head and rounded cheeks when you're doing the contour. Going to be more like this. And here's the thing, this contour with these rounded cheeks and these little lines that you see, don't think of them as lines. Think of them instead as forms, because these cheeks have muscles in them, and the little muzzle is sticking out just like it would with the adult that we were talking about. But what we've got here is the muzzle sticking out here, and these two big muscles on the cheeks over here. So instead of drawing lines, this is just a little guideline I've got here, but as you're rendering them, try to find where the shadow is being cast from the rounded form of the muzzle the rounded form of the nose, where this is being cast on the rounded form of the muzzle, and where the shadow is being cast on the rounded form of the cheeks. And this cheek has a rounded form over here. So I'm just saying that we're going to suppose the light is coming from here. I'm going to see if I can find a couple pieces of fruit or something with forms that I can show you that. I don't have much fruit around here today. Let's see here. I have a couple of Meyer lemons. Here we go. So let's say this is a cheek. It's got a lighter side and a darker side, and let's say this is the muzzle. Does it make any sense if I squish them together? You can see that the muzzle has a lighter side and a darker side as it joins the cheek. And you could see a line there, but don't draw a line there except as a guideline for yourself. Just do the shading so you can see the volume of the cheek and the volume of the muzzle. Does that make any sense? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
I had a little guideline I was using, but let me erase that guideline. I had a guideline here. We'll make it so there's no guideline. I'm going to use eraser instead of guidelines. Now there's going to be light on the left side of the muzzle. And light on the left side of the chin. But don't draw it like a line, and it will look less like he has a little fold there. Does that make sense? There might be light on this side of this cheek. Now I'm having fun drawing with this imaginary baby. But anyway, children will have these pudgy looking cheeks, but they too have a muzzle that sticks out. And sometimes it's tempting to make a line there, but don't do that. Just make it a soft shading instead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, all righty. I made Meyer lemon cookies yesterday. With Meyer lemon frosting.
What?
And they're really good.
I want one.
Yeah, they were really good. Okay. Now where was I? We were doing her nose. And now at long last we can do her eyes. Her eyebrow comes up like this. This eyebrow is like this. And she has hooded eyes, it looks like. Now the way to structure the eye The way to structure the eye is to still remember that it's sitting inside. It's sitting inside the skull. We're not going to start out drawing a little eye-shaped thing. We're not going to start out doing that. We still have to establish a place for the eye to reside. In this case, there's a little hood right there. I'm making a guideline across. This vertical guideline is a guideline across this horizontal guideline to show where the pupils will go when I get there. They meet here. And this one, this corner of the eye is behind the nose. And this corner of the eye goes around the curve of the face, so we don't really have it. We do have this hood is showing up. And now finally we can put in the pupil, this pupil, the iris. And shade this area up in here. So we're beginning to show how the eye sits inside. Its eye sits down inside the skull. That's the difference between a realistic painting and a cartoon or manga or something like that, is that the eye sits inside. So we want to make sure to show the shadowing of that inside part where the eye is. You need to mute, please. All right. And now you can go ahead and finish shading in some other things. Don't get too carried away, because I don't want us to really go much farther than this in the drawing, because after lunch I want us to start changing to doing this kind of thing in paint. TRO. Notice also that the white of the eye is not white, it's in shadow. We'll be having lunch in about 5 minutes.
Ma.
Yeah.
Noses. Nose.
What?
Noses.
Noses. I know they're
So
a challenge.
I'm looking at it. If you wouldn't mind looking at the photo I sent you.
Right.
The confusion I'm having is trying to figure out what that front plane actually is, because I see the shadow. Like now I can see vaguely where the edge of the nose is on the right side, right? Because I don't have a great photograph, obviously. It's a great photograph of her, but it's like I've had to blow it up too much.
Okay.
So
Well,
the front
the
plane,
edge where that shine is on her nose,
yeah,
that's the edge between the front plane and the side plane.
right. That's what I figured. So then the front plane itself, then, does it go? I can see a little bit of a shadow on the right-hand side, like near below her left. I guess if she's facing me, it's her left eye, but what I see from it's like on her right side. I mean, it's her left eye, but it's my.
Yeah, you can see the shadow of her left eye.
Yep.
It continues. You see how it has a little jog in it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That jog is following the plane of her nose.
Okay.
Where it's straight down is following the top plane of her nose. Where it goes at that little jog is following the side plane of her nose. And where it starts going horizontal, that's where her nose has ended, and that's part of her cheekbone.
Okay. All right. So in fact, we don't see very much of her side plane on that side plane at all, actually.
Well, I'm going to see if I can send it to you and draw what I mean, because it's really hard to see on this picture.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So I'm going to
now that the front plane was actually a lot wider than I thought it was, because I was just seeing the shiny part, and that's the side of it of the side.
Yeah,
plane,
the shiny
the
part. The shiny part is a real good clue there for that, but the part that's really hard to see, I'm going to try to draw it for you. And I'll have to use a very thin line because this is very small. Okay. The part that I'm having you look at is the angle of the shadow of that eye. And this is what you have to do. If you know the anatomy, then you'll know where to find your clues, all right?
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
then there's also a little bit that you can see of the wing to her nostril, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to send this back to you, and hopefully it'll make sense to you.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. This is a new phone. I'm having to learn everything. You're Minette Text right now, right?
I'm in WhatsApp. And
in WhatsApp, you're Minette Text.
I am.
I don't know. Are you? You're sending it WhatsApp, right?
Oh, yep. That's it. That's the one.
Okay. Did it come through?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see little bitty marks that I made in black?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Does that make sense? The little bitty
Yeah.
dot.
Yeah, tell me about that dot.
That dot is where the wing of that nostril, that side of her nostril ends.
Oh, got it. I see. Yeah.
And so in between, I gave you 3 lines for that shadow of her eye.
Yeah.
The one that's at an angle is following along the side plane of her nose. And where it shifts from being at an angle to being more horizontal, that angle, that point right there, if you draw a line from the little dot to that point, you will have drawn a line along the side plane of her nose where it meets her cheekbone.
Okay. So where it connects to where you have 2 little, there's a straight down, there's an angle, and then another angle. And when you're talking about this.
Yeah, the one that's straight down, that's where the side plane begins. So you can see between that and the other eye is all top plane.
Okay.
And then the side plane goes down, kind of following along the shine that's on the top plane. It's not on the shine, but it's parallel to that shine.
Yes.
Okay. Until you get to the wing of the nostril, then take it over to the wing of the nostril. Okay. And then take it up from the wing of the nostril to the place. See, there's 3 lines under her eye. One is vertical, one is more horizontal, and there's one that's kind of like 5 o'clock. Okay. Take a dotted line from the dot up to where it's like 5 o'clock around her eye, and that'll be the side plane.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So not the point where it goes between going horizontal and 5 o'clock, but the one that goes from vertical to 5 o'clock.
The one that goes from 5 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I will give that a shot.
Okay. And then the one on the other side is easy to see because there's a little bit of shine. You can follow the shadow of the eye, and it does the same thing. And then there's a little bit of a shine.
Yeah.
At the corner of her eye, that's where that side plane ends and joins her cheekbone.
Okay.
It's very subtle, but you have to learn how to see these because it's hard to see it in a photo.
Yeah, no, I can see it now. I can see it on where now that I can looking at the light.
Yeah.
The light.
Exactly. On the other side, you don't have that light.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Everybody, it's time for lunch. I'm going to go have lunch, and I'll be back in a half hour. Don't get too far into the tall grass. Take a break and eat. You'll be safer. All right. I'll see you soon. Okay, Arlene, I got your image. Nice. Yeah, nicely done.
So how far do you want us to go on this sketch? Do you want the shading and all that, or shall we start the painting?
No, we're gonna do the same thing in paint.
Okay.
Not, it doesn't have to be, yeah, we're gonna do the same thing in paint, and we won't go any farther than this unless you have time and want to. We're not gonna get beyond the TRO today.
All right.
I don't think. We'll see. I never know how fast it's gonna go, you know.
I understand.
So
it's usually slower than what you think, Gail.
It usually is slower, but I'm prepared for it to be faster. So, all right. We're not all back, but it is time to start class again, so I will. So what I want us to do now, I want us to go through that same process, but this time we're going to use paint. Let's see who just wrote to me, Liberty. Okay, I got it. Yeah, that's really cute. That is really cute. Nicely done, Liberty. Very cute. You got her. So we'll go through the same process, but this time it's going to be with paint. And I'm going to show you a couple things that I think several of you might need to take into account. I have a couple paintings here that show a different kind of light source than what I have on mine. And, you know, everybody has different light sources. And so I'll just switch the camera and get right into it. So we're done with drawing for the day. And what we'll be doing with paint is the same thing that we've been doing with drawing. We're going to do the same breakdowns of these planes and forms and whatnot, all that stuff. But we're going to do it with transparent red oxide.
Oh.
So does anybody not have, if you don't have transparent red oxide, you can use burnt sienna or burnt umber or any of those. And first, what I want to show you is something that I think several of you are going to be facing, which is that your subject will either be mostly in shadow or entirely in shadow. You see in the case of this one, his little face is entirely, it's in shadow except for this is the side plane. This is the only part that's not in shadow. And you can see how right along the edge between the front plane and the side plane, there's that little bit of shiny light right there. In this case, the light is shining on it. But this is all in shadow, and yet it's different colors of shadow. And Anne, you might want to look at this because it's what I was talking to you about with regard to the painting of your husband. This is a little redder right here. It's got a little more red in it. This has a little orange in it. This has a little bit of pink. This has violet in it over here. There's red, here's purple right there. So if you see any of those colors in the photograph, that's fine. But if the photograph isn't giving you that information, you're going to have to invent it. By the way, this has to do with also with what I was showing you about the cheeks of a little child. The shadow, the form of the cheek goes from light to shadow, but I try not to have a line there. The form of the chin meets the light of the chin meets the shadow of the cheek. And over here, there's a shadow area that gets lighter as the form of the cheek sticks out. So you try to get these things going with just light and shadow and reflected light rather than with lines. With paint, it's a lot easier to do that than it is with pencil. So the temperature, Liberty, how much have you learned about color temperature?
Color temperature?
Yeah.
Probably something, but I've never heard it in that term, I guess.
Okay, we'll work with that when we get to using color. For now, we're still just using form and dark and light, but the temperature of a color has to do with, well, how warm or cool the color looks, you know?
Okay. Okay.
So anyway, what this whole area is shadowed. The values are very similar, meaning how dark and light it is, but the temperatures are shifting throughout.
Yeah,
and it's true over here. The values are light, but the temperatures are shifting based on what reflected light is. Like for instance, right here, it's bluer because it's reflecting that. And anyway, that's the kind of thing that we'll be working with as we do our paintings. Another one is this one. She was entirely in shadow, and we were in a store that had fluorescent lighting. So this hat was casting a shadow on her face, and yet I had to have variations in temperature and value to show the different aspects of her face. And in this case, you can see that quite a bit of the light on her face is reflected from her dress. There's quite a bit of light reflecting upward. So she has light under her eyes instead of shadow under her eyes. Light on this little triangle of her nose instead of shadow, because it's being reflected upward from her dress. So you have to kind of analyze these sorts of things as you start your painting from a photo. Try to figure out what it is you're seeing. And there on the photo, it's very, very, very subtle. So you have to look at the subtleties, like the front plane of her nose here is a different color from the side plane, but this is the side plane of her nose. And this over here is a different color again. It's slightly darker than the front plane, but there's slight blue right in here. So it's all stuff you have to look for: the form of the cheeks, the form of the chin, the front plane, side plane, and triangular bottom plane of the nose, the fact that the eyes are sitting down in the skull. This is the darker part for the skull. This is where that eye, the sphere from the eye, is sticking out and catching the light on the bottom. You have to make sure not to ignore this part of the eyes when you're doing eyes. So I wanted you to take that into account when we start doing this. Try to look very carefully at your photograph and find those things. Look for those things in particular. I mean, there's a lot to look at, but I think in particular, the things that we've been studying today, you will find them if you look carefully. So here is Minette. Let's see, I have two prints and I think I like this one better. And the entire photograph out, actually, I'm going to share my screen with you for a minute here and show you my photograph in color. I will use the here we go. Here's the color. This was last June. We were in England, in Cambridge, England, looking at, I think this is they could call it the chapel, but it's like a cathedral, I believe, at Cambridge College, I think. I think that's where we were.
It was at St. John's in
St. John's. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we had all these little booth kind of things that we could sit in, and she was looking up at the, at something that was over there, stained glass or the organ or something, and the light was just so nice on her. And in this case, the rest of my family is sitting in their other booths. What I'd like to do to paint this is not include all this detail over here. I'd like to have the darkness around her face and then just marks of color to indicate other things going on. I don't want to paint all of that. I don't want to paint everybody's face and all that stuff. So it's going to be about her and just little areas of color that will let us know where she is. And so I'll be referring to the color picture when it comes time to refer to that. But in the meantime, I'll just be referring to my black and white print that I made. And that's what I'll be doing today, is just referring to the black and white print as I put the transparent red oxide down. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Questions from anybody? Okay, so I'll just do this the same way I did this morning with measuring. There we go. I have all my colors out, although I won't be using them today. I always put them all out. And it has to do with the way Impressionism works. You kind of use all the colors everywhere. You saw in that picture of the little boy, the little baby boy, you saw how I I had all the colors everywhere. The blue and the red and the orange, they were all in his face. So that's why you have to have them all out. But today, all you really need is the transparent red oxide. So get rid of these drawing supplies I don't need anymore. Now I want this to be right about here. I'm going to have her face here, and then her arm and the top of her dress here, and then these other random colors over here. So what I did was I didn't try to make the photograph this big. That was going to be silly, but I did make the head as big as I wanted it to be, for it to be kind of where I want it to be in the upper area of my canvas. So the very first thing I need to do is mark on here how much space that's going to take. I want it to be right about here. That's what I want. Now we'll see how that corresponds to reality. I'll bring it a little smaller in reality than what I indicated. So I'll do that and wipe off this. Then I'll see the width. Now you see in this case, because she's looking up, I'm dealing with some foreshortening. If she wasn't looking up, her face would be longer. But she's looking up, so it's foreshortened, looks shorter. You all know about foreshortening, right? I think you all do. She also is at a slight slant. So that line that goes through the middle of her head is going to be at a very slight slant. Won't be straight up and down, just very slightly off, straight up and down. Now another thing that's kind of interesting, and this is something that has to do with other drawing programs that we've done. If you look at, let's see what I can show you that would be best. Liberty, do you know about foreshortening in ellipses?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, this thing is a cylinder, and the head is basically a cylinder too. If you look at it from the top, you can see that this is a circle.
Mm-hmm.
But once I start tipping it, this doesn't look like a circle anymore.
Yeah, it gets shorter.
It looks like an ellipse.
Mm-hmm.
It squeezes in here like that. Now those lines that the guidelines we give ourselves for the eyes of our subject, if our subject is looking down, those guidelines are going to become, they won't be straight anymore. They're going to, because they're kind of going around ahead, they'll be curved a little bit downward. If our subject is looking up, they're going to be curved a little bit the other way. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so my subject is looking up, so I think my guidelines will probably have that upward curve. I'm going to measure from the top of her head to the middle of her nose. And remember, this head is slanted a little bit, so the lines for the eyes are slanted. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
They're slanted at right angles. It kind of looks like it's a little bit more than right angles, but they're slanted, so I need to bear that in mind when I draw them. This is the eyebrows. Just double check and make sure that's the eyebrows. I think this might be the middle of the eye. Yeah, that's the middle of the eye. The eyebrows are a little above.
Do you have anything on your canvas before you're putting this on?
This is a canvas I did another demonstration on a long time ago, and it dried, and then I put some Gamblin ground on it over the demonstration, and that dried, and that's what's on here.
Okay, so I can just be working with a clean canvas, right?
Yeah, you don't have to tone it.
Okay.
Unless you know, if you want to, that's fine. So this will be right through her eyes. Now her nose, the base of her nose, I'm going to follow that from the top of her head. The base of her nose is right here. I can definitely see the entire triangle of the bottom of her nose. See, there's that triangle. I might as well put that in. It's this wide, this high. It's kind of over at the side. Okay. Now she has a muzzle, like I've talked about. You can see that here's the shadow coming from the cheek muscle. Here's the light on the lit side of the muzzle and the shading on the shadow side of the muzzle. Her lips are going to be a little bit to the left of my vertical line because of the muzzle. So I'll make them a little bit to the left. And they are also not going to be a straight line because of that ellipse situation that I told you. So it's going to be a little bit of a curve. Now, this all looks very strange at this point, but this is the way we start. And the chin, the shadow part of her chin starts here and goes over to the right. Now I'll kind of give straight, sketchy lines for the contour of the face. I don't want to try to just draw the contour. I'm just giving sketches here. The hair. The ear. Now the other side is a lost edge. You see this? It's a lost edge. It's all in shadow, and I'm going to paint it that way. So let's see how far over we go to the outer corner of the, I'll show you. I'm going to the outer corner of her shadowed eye, and that's where that shadow begins, is right there. So the bedbug line, and what the bedbug line is the same as the Terminator line. The shadow starts here, goes over here, down like that. There's a little triangle of light like right there, and this other shadow starts up in here, and it all just goes deeper and deeper into shadow. So instead of trying to draw the right side of her face at all, I'm just going to draw the bedbug line, the Terminator line. It comes like this, over onto her nose, down her philtrum, onto her lips, down to her chin, and around over to her neck and back like this. So this is the Terminator line. This is going to be an important line to put in. And there's a little triangle of light right here. A little triangle of light right here. Okay, now you guys do your part. Yours will look different from this, but it will have the same elements, and you have to find those elements. Hi, sweetie. You're my dog. You're my dog.
So, Gail, do we work from the sketch we made or go back to our original?
You're going to work on from your photograph. We did the sketch as a practice.
Yeah. Understand. I have another question.
Yeah.
best to work from the black and white at this point or the color?
Yeah, I want you to work from the black and white. Yeah, we're looking at values right now.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a photo in this book that we're working from, because it's of a child and the front plane and side planes of the nose, let's see here, are here. They're very subtle, but they're here. Okay, anybody who is painting a child, if you would look up at this, you can see that, I mean, this is just so delightful. And it looks like her face is just entirely pale. And in the photograph, it probably did just look like it was entirely pale. But there are gentle places where you can see the forms. Here's the front plane of her nose. It's ever so lightly shiny. Here's this side plane. You see it? Very, very subtle, but it's there. It goes from the wing of her nostril to the corner of her eye. And you see how it's over here too, from the wing of her nostril to the corner of her eye. This is slightly violet, and then this from here over is slightly warmer. Now, violet is cooler than this kind of orangey hue that's here. So this is cooler and this is warmer, but you see this, the shift from violet to orange. It's very subtle, but it's there, and it lets us know her nose is sticking out there. She has the same shift over here. This is a little bit more reddish violet and a little orange right in there where her cheekbone starts.
Gail,
Yeah.
I can see the violet and the slight orange underneath, inside the eye, but the highlight on the tip is not.
This?
Yeah, no, not the tip, but like that whole plane.
Along here?
Yeah, what is that color?
It's gonna be our same
sure.
mixtures. It has white added to it.
Okay, but it's like pinkish or orangey? It's pinkish.
I think it's a little pinker, yeah.
More pink than the orange. Okay.
Yeah, generally noses have more pink in them. We have more pink around here. We generally have, it's a little cooler right along up in here, a little warmer right around this part of the nose with more pink. There's more pink around the corners of the eyes, and more pink obviously in the mouth, and a lot of pink in the ears. So you can see that it's extremely subtle, but it's there. Yeah. And if you can't see it in your photograph, just remember the anatomy and put in some very subtle shifts where you need to put them so we can see the 3 dimensions. Now, one interesting thing also, the curve, the form of this cheek, we're seeing the shadow of it going in here, meeting the form of the muzzle into this little thing right here that is kind of a dimple. And the photo may have shown a line that goes clear up here, but the artist didn't show it. That makes it look less like an old person and more like a young person. Same thing's true over here. The shadow of the nose ends where that line would have been on this side, but she didn't include the line. She had the shadow of the nose end there and this dimple end there. So this is how knowing the anatomy, and I will give you more anatomy lessons as we go. You see how this is a little lighter right here than that is right there. See, it's very subtle, but this lets us know that there's kind of a dimple next to her mouth here, and that this is a little bit of fat coming out, and there's a little bit of a dimple in there. So these are important. Understanding about things like dimples and indentations and forms that meet. That's why we paint still lifes of fruit. Apricots and plums, things like that, peaches, they have forms that meet. And learning how to paint that without making a line is part of why we paint still lifes. It's good instruction. So anyway, that's those of you who are painting children, please bear all that in mind. All right. Are you ready for the next step? Anybody need more time? Raise your hand if you need more time. Okay, I'll give you a few more minutes and then I'm going to do the next step. Thank you, Liberty. Now I can watch what you're doing. I appreciate that. Yeah, that looks good. All righty, I'm going to show you the next step now. And we don't have to do everything in a particular order at this point, but I do want to make sure that all the steps do happen. So I'm getting some more TRO on my brush. I'm going to go ahead and include her glasses because it does change the way her face looks, and she wears them. So what I'm doing now is I'm measuring the width of her eye, and it's on that curve I've talked about, like that. Get her eyebrow going. Her eye is on this curve. And so is this one. The eyebrow. Now there's a little line, there's something that you might draw as a line here, except with adults as well as with children, you don't want to make it a line. You can give yourself a guideline and then give yourself the shadow that's there and make sure that it doesn't wind up looking like a line. It needs to look like a form. You can use your fingers or whatever to soften it. The light is shining from this direction. It's shining around the form of this muscle on her cheek and then shining on this side of her muzzle. I'm going to soften this. Her glasses cast a little bit of a shadow right along here. So I'll make that. This is the shadow on her skin, it's not her glasses. I'm going to show the size of her glasses. They're right about at her eyelid, eyelash, eyebrow. And then this direction, about from here to about there. I'm not going to get real involved with her glasses yet because I have to do the anatomy first, but I do want to show where they'll be. I've got these guidelines here to help me with them. All right. I'm going to get this shading in where the bedbug line is. This is the point at which this portrait is going to look kind of strange. And you don't want your subject to see it when it's going through this stage. So fortunately, Minette quit for the day. I've got all this paint scribbled on here, and what I want to do next is use my rag to move it around. I don't try to paint it in all solid. I just scribble it in, scribble it on here on the dark side of my bedbug line, and then move it around. That's why I like to use rags rather than paper towels, because I actually use it as a tool. I don't just wipe my brush off on it. There's a shadow side on this side of this eye. And as I begin to get the light and shade established on here and work it with my rag and my brush, then these guidelines will gradually soften and disappear. You see, I'm not putting in things like nostrils yet, even though they're going to be there, but I'm not putting them in yet. I'm mostly trying to get form. Really interested in establishing these different forms. I have a soft fan brush that I might use right now. I'll see if it's what I want. I want to soften this. Without actually wiping it off. So I'm going to see if the fan brush will do the job. I think it's a little bigger than I want, but I might want to use it for the background. You see how if I do anything in the eyes, it's mainly just to figure out where the shadow form is going to be. I'm a long way from putting in pupils or any of that. Now I want to do a big brush to get that darkness. Switching now to this brush. Everybody take a look at the brush I'm going to use now. I've chewed the number off of it, but you can see it's a big brush. And I want to get this darkness along the side of her head on here without having to do a lot of little strokes and without having it look tight. This darkness over here, I want it to just be a lost edge, all of this. Now I have the color photograph of her that I'm going to use for her dress and stuff. So let me get that going. I'm not going to try to draw and measure this part because I'm using a lot of artistic license. So I just want to have a vague idea of what I'm looking at here. I'm just establishing some values and maybe a few patterns in this shadowed area. Now I'm adding a little bit of blue to my TRO so that I can get some of those really dark darks in. I'm going to use some Cad Red Deep to indicate where I want this book. Somebody's holding a book, I want to have it there. These are just, I'm showing where I want to put things. There's nothing about where things will actually be yet. I'm not painting it. I'm not painting the background. I'm not painting the books. I'm indicating where I propose to put these things when I get that far. I might have the window here. Well, everything that we're doing here is just a proposal of where things might go, including the drawing of the face. What I like about working with oil paints is that it's so easy to change things if you want to. I have a dark element there. And this is going to be really dark over on the right. I'm adding more blue. She has blue in her dress. And putting the blue right into her face and her neck. It's not that I'm painting her face blue, it's that I'm indicating the darkness, the value shift there. We'll be doing skin colors later. That's probably all I can do. Now you see how I didn't put in any nostrils and I didn't put in any irises or eyelids or any of that. This is just an indication of where these things, where when I get there, I will place them in these locations, but I'm not there yet. And it will be next week that we'll be doing that with color when we get to using color. In case anybody is interested in why I made those marks that I made, this has to do with composition. She is in the upper right, which is a good place for a focal point to be. This and this are framing that area, and this is pointing toward her. So these are simplified and they're here for a reason. In the photograph, there was a lot of random stuff. I kept what I needed to point toward her. As I develop it, we'll have a better clue that she's in a cathedral. But right now, I'm just showing the placement and the darks and lights, the placement and the values. Liberty, you can go quite a bit darker than that with your dark values. You can get them quite a bit darker. How you doing, Teresa?
I've enjoyed watching you do what you do.
That seems to be about the size of it.
That's my way of learning.
That makes sense.
I can do my stuff when you're not around.
Okay.
But I like you being around.
Okay. Thank you.
It's always good. And you can, I'm glad she's not here, but because she wouldn't recognize herself, but I can recognize her in the midst of all of that. So
you can tell what she's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I can tell what she's supposed, who she's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll let this dry this week and then do the color, begin the color next week, and probably the following week we'd be doing detail, but we might be able to finish our paintings next week. We'll see.
You're very ambitious.
Sometimes.
I'm with you, Teresa.
Thanks, Pam.
Uh-huh.
So
Gail, this is the time during class when Teresa, I'd walk over to Teresa or she'd walk over to me and go, "Do you know what she's talking about?"
Yeah, I miss those days.
I do too.
But
Yes.
I like this way too. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-mm.
So is this going to be what the layout of the class is going to be like? Like a couple paintings every week, or just working on individual stuff?
What we're doing right now is I want to make sure that you're understanding this method, because we're not grading it up or anything like that. This is the site size measurement method, and I want to make sure you're understanding the anatomy and the concepts of the forms. And then I want to make sure you're understanding the skin tones, how to get the skin tones. So this first one that we do, you're going to have quite a lot of demonstration and help from me. And we might finish it next week. And then after that, we'll be together in class, but you'll be working on others that you've picked out without as much demonstrating from me.
Okay.
Unless you really need a demonstration. If there's something you need me to show, I'll do that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
This is definitely very fascinating. I've never gone to this depth for it, but I'm here for it.
Okay. Well, the way I teach, this is an atelier style of teaching. I don't try to teach styles and techniques that are flashy. What I want you to understand is the underlying form and science involved in what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm. Which is more important, I think, than a flashy technique.
It absolutely is. I mean, if I were to teach you a flashy thing, like I know an artist who teaches people how to do birds. He has them paint the bird shape, that M shape of birds flying, or the V shape. He has you put a bunch of them up in the sky, and then he has you take a piece of cardboard and scrape it all the way across there, and now sure enough, they look like they're really going fast. And that's the whole thing you learn from this guy,
Just that one thing?
Huh?
Just the one thing?
Just that one thing.
That's everything what you do, but what else goes in it?
Yeah, fish, you can make fish look like they're swimming if you do that. But I try to do a little better than that. Just put it that way.
So, Gail?
Yeah?
Basically, this whole part of my head, that head will be just one TRO.
Yeah, it's all in shadow, but you will also need to use darker values to indicate his features and stuff. Now, the one I showed you about the little girl with the hat,
yes,
that had to do with what you're painting.
Yes.
So you'll start out, just put TRO all over his face and then wipe most of it off, and then put in his indications of the forms and features and stuff.
I will give it my best shot.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you want to slow me down or not, Gail.
All right. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good, Di.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I think you're at a good stopping point. Do something with figure out what you want to do about the value of the background. That kind of has to happen today.
It was I think it was a photo session and they sent samples.
Yeah.
Then the family didn't buy the photos.
Oh.
So, yeah. So all this back here is almost the same in the photo as the hair, which I don't like much. But
so you don't want to have the background and the hair be a lost edge?
It could be, as long as these golden colors in her hair can be slipped in, on the edges for the light.
Yeah, well, you can totally do that, but I need you to make that happen now, but not with color, with just TRO.
Whoa. I think I'm just gonna wipe it out where I want it.
Gail?
Yeah, and I see what you sent me.
Okay,
yep.
So those are the colors I'm coming up with so far. I'm still working on, there are more areas I'm gonna do versions of lighter and.
Okay, I think you can use a little more red.
Yeah, I'm trying to put some more red in there.
Yeah, and I think alizarin crimson would be a good choice, a cool red.
On what part? On the far side near his dark, in the shadow
Well, I'm
area?
thinking I'm thinking a lot of the. Let me just try. I'm going to try to separate this out and see what shade of red it is. It's looking to me like it's probably a cool red, but I'm gonna find
Cad
out.
Red Light. I've been using Cad Red Light. Over here, it's a little darker in the picture that I sent you. Over here, it looks like Cad Red Light matches pretty well.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna show that to me again. I missed it. Where does the Cad Red Light match?
Here, I'll see if I could get it on the portrait. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here's like pink here, pink in there.
Yeah.
Pinks up here. It seems like I put Cad Red Light in there.
Okay.
I need to put more up in here, but I think that's a good red. Do you think I need to go?
I think some of it might need to be a little cooler, but just give me a minute. I'm gonna find out.
All right. His skin tones are warm.
Okay. So it might be exactly the way you've got it, but and of course the photograph isn't necessarily accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the frustrating part.
Yeah, but he is there, right?
Yes, he's here, and I can try to look at him again.
Yeah. Okay, that looks like it's kind of a terracotta. Hang on. I made that too wide now. So on his nose, it has that terracotta look.
On his nose here. Yeah, I didn't do anything right here yet.
Okay. Yeah,
I put some red in here and right
I
here.
think Cad Red Light is probably going to be what you want to use.
Okay.
For a lot of this, with alizarin crimson to cool it where it needs to be cooled. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to send this back to you.
Okay. And you're gonna note where it needs to be cooled?
You'll see.
Okay, great.
It'll work. Oh dear, now it wants me to do something with AI. In some regards, it's nice to have a new phone. Sometimes they get a little carried away. Okay, see if you got it.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I got it. All right. Let's see. So the Cad Red Light would be the kind of muted ones, and the alizarin would be on his nose.
Well, you see how there's at the right, I've got 3 swatches there.
Yes.
And the one on the furthest right is a little warmer.
Yeah.
And the one in the middle is a little cooler.
Yes.
And then the one on the left is even warmer than the one on the right.
Okay.
So I think to warm them, you'll be adding orange or cad red light, and I think to cool it, you'll be adding alizarin crimson.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Liberty, let me take a picture of yours and send it to me. I want to double check the values.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute and like dry.
Okay.
And then see it again, because I think I'm not happy with some of the placement of my stuff.
Okay.
At the moment.
If there's
anything
right now. If there's anything you don't like, it's going to be better to wipe it off before it dries. It's real easy to wipe it off before it dries, but it looks okay, tell me what you don't like.
Well, my photo, it has her hands like at the bottom, and I placed her head more in the corner.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to be able to do at the bottom here. I think in the reality it's supposed to be like a table, but it's supposed to be like right there. You see it? I don't know what I'm going to do.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to include her hands?
I think that was the idea originally. I don't know how I'd get around it for the way it is.
Because I can give you an anatomy lesson about hands if you want.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be a fun challenge to do the hands.
Okay.
I've done hands before in acrylic, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I don't think you drew them when we were doing our drawing.
Yeah, I didn't, because we were just focusing on the face values and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But there's also room on my paper that I can draw the hands in.
There's room for your hands, and go ahead and darken in the hair.
Mm-hmm.
And darken in anything you want that's dark in the background. Like her hair has a lost edge to the right where that black area is. And you can make a lost edge where that other black area is on the left. So do that while it's still wet. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to then get out your pencils and stuff, and I'll give you an anatomy lesson about that, all right?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to move this. Okay, if you think about hands, you see you have the palm of the hand, which is roughly a square, and then you have the fingers. So just draw this sort of cattywampus square. That's the palm of the hand. And then the fingers are shaped kind of like a mitten. So that's going to be the second shape.
Okay, let me get my pens.
And just hold your own hand the way I'm holding mine, and you'll see what I mean by that. And then this thumb sticks out from the side like that. Yeah, that's basically the way a hand looks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to simplify a hand. So you want to start out with the simplified part. Now, if the hand, put the fingers in, you see how these knuckles, these are in line and those are in line. Different people's hands are different, and these knuckles can be in line. So look at your own hand and do a little guideline for yourself for where the knuckles are. And this is where you start giving it individuality. Like my little finger is like that. And it has a knuckle here, one here. Each finger has two of these lines.
Mm-hmm.
The middle finger sticks up furthest. And then the ring finger is kind of in between there. The thumb only has one of these lines. And then you can go ahead and put in the heart line and the head line and all that if you want.
Yeah, that is funny that how different hands are. I never noticed this before. So like my ring finger is longer than my pointer finger.
Is it really? Wow, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, then you can get more involved with all of these kinds of changes. But if you first think of the hand as a square, a sort of lopsided square, and the fingers coming out, the whole thing is kind of like a mitten, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
Now, if you want to show that the hand is folded like this, you make the square, and the square is going to be, you know, how perspective is. It'll be kind of a trapezoid because it's turned like this. And then this part, that's the mitten part, that'll be largely foreshortened. See if you do this. And then here's the thumb. And the knuckles. I'm talking about very simplified way of drawing it. I mean, later on in the drawing and later on in your painting, we could get all the way to doing the veins on it and everything else. But right now, this is the simplest way to show the form, the anatomy. There's going to be a, right here, between here and here, there is a plane. So it goes like that. Shadow would be here.
There it is.
Gail?
Yeah?
J'ai effacé 3-4 fois ce que j'ai fait.
You're speaking French to me?
Oh, sorry. Shows you my state. My state. My state of duress.
Your state of duress. Okay.
I've erased it 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And this is what I've got.
Okay. Well, let's give it a rest, and then you can work on it during the week.
Yeah, I will.
Just try to get that TRO drawing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep. Okay, it's just sometimes you just can't. I mean, it's good to reach the point where you know that you need to erase it, though, right?
I think that's a wonderful thing to know.
You don't just keep plowing on, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to continue with talking about these hands here on this. Okay, so in the case of this one, I've zoomed in quite a bit. This hand right here, we see that this is the part that was square in the palm. But you see we're looking at it from the side. So it's a little narrower, but you see how it now is like a trapezoid. And we're not going to worry about making this rounded and delicate and all that. We just want to make a sort of a trapezoid here. And then this part, the mitten part, measure how big the mitten part is compared to the trapezoid part. About like that. And we're just going to draw it like a mitten to start with. We're not going to try to put fingers. It's just a mitten, okay? So there's the mitten from the side. It attaches to the arm like that. That's all you need to do right now. And the other hand, we're seeing it even more from the side. Let's see here. From this side right here. So we compare this side to that side because it should be not too far different. That's from here to here. And this up here should be a little longer. Should be pretty much like this one. So measure it. And then again, the fingers, we're going to get into the individual fingers later, but for now, all you need to show is this mitten shape. All it is right now is a mitten. And you can make this in shadow if you want to. Boy, that train is close, isn't it?
Oh, yep. We live by a train. It's like across the street.
I used to teach in Nashville, and our studio was right next to the train tracks. It was hilarious because I would start out with a lecture in the morning, and every time when I was just getting my lecture started, the train would come by. Does anybody remember that? Pam, do you remember that? That was hilarious.
I do. Yes, that was every time.
So don't try to draw all the fingers. Just pretend that she's wearing mittens and draw the mittens along with where the shadow is, okay? We're going to do the fingers later when we do details like the eyes and nostrils and stuff, okay?
Okay. Get that as the shadow there. Okay.
Okay.
I think that should be, you can see.
Yeah, I think you've got it. It's going to work. I think I love the idea of putting her hands in. That's part of the pose, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think she's holding a fork too, like originally. So I thought that might be fun to put in.
I think you can leave the fork out.
Leave the fork out?
Yeah. But I do like those dark, you don't have to make it look like she's sitting in a booth. Just use those dark shapes for the composition. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
You know how I used that red shape for my composition? And what it is a hymnal. And it might look more like a hymnal by the time I'm done, but right now it's just a red shape.
Uh-huh.
Try to do that with your darkness and make it really dark. Mix in some ultramarine to make it really dark. There, you're doing a good job. That's looking good.
Finally.
No, it's been looking good all along. I liked how you've been carefully adjusting it and seeing where you needed to adjust it. And Di Simmons, I like that background on her. That's going to work.
She's a challenge.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. There's a reason we wait to do portraits.
Well, I had a request for this, so
Okay.
I don't know how many times I'm gonna do it before I'm happy with it, but it's a good project. Ugh. And I feel like I'm getting to a point where I just need to stop because I'm gonna get crazy.
Well, after 4 hours, I know I need to stop. I just, I'm not seeing it right. My brain is getting tired. I'm getting distracted,
And I start speaking French.
And you start speaking French, yes.
Her hair was really long.
How'd you decide which color to bring into your background?
She just told me. Here. Oh, well. Well, I need to do more.
I'm not muted.
Whoops.
Gail?
Yeah.
This is not an excuse, but it's because I'm doing this portrait of this child for my husband's it's my husband's granddaughter. It's not for him, it's for her mother. And she wanted just a small one, and I keep on going out of the canvas.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to print a small photo. I mean, the photo, you'd have to print it small.
Yeah, I'm going to reprint and I'm going to start over because it's really I'm not too unhappy with what it looks like, but the scale is all wrong.
Yeah. Figure out how big you want it to be and then print the photo that same size.
That's what I did.
Oh, you just kept getting bigger.
No, but
figure how big she wants it and then print the photo that size.
No, it's because the photo doesn't have any space around it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, see, here's the thing. Don't make it the size of the canvas.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Right. Make the head in the photo the size of the head that you want in your canvas.
In the canvas.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work better for you.
Lesson learned.
Okay.
Exactly. Like there's no space. So like it looks like a dwarf exploding.
Oh, that would not be good. Yeah, that would not be
good. From the canvas,
Okay.
It's all
I
wrong.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, you know what to do now.
Yeah, good lesson.
Yep, that'll be good. We're down to about 4 minutes. If anybody has a drop dead question or anything, you need to ask it. Yeah, Liberty, it should all be as dark as that is now. Those marks you've just put on, those are the right value.
Can you see mine, Gail?
Yes, I can. It's looking good, and I'm glad you realized he is entirely backlit.
I don't know why I do know why I picked this, because it was the best of what I had, but it's certainly difficult.
Well, no, it's going to be okay as long as you know that that's what you've got, and just work with it.
Can you hear me, Gail?
Yeah.
It's in. Okay.
Yeah.
For his hair, the tiny silvery white strands. Which brush should I use? Like a rigger?
Yeah, but you're not ready for that yet.
Okay.
What you can use to give him sort of a rough texture on his beard for now, you can use one of those hockey brushes, Well,
I got the comb, like she said, but I'm not sure if it's going to work because it's a very soft bristles.
Yeah, you're not ready for it. That's going to be one of the last things you'll do.
Okay. All right.
And
yeah.
by that time, the paint, you'll be working with like possibly portrait medium and softer, more liquid paint. Right now, you still have a lot of paint to get onto that canvas before you're going to be ready for those things.
Okay, I haven't really been using medium. I have here and there used the lean medium.
Yeah, and that's why those soft brushes aren't working yet.
Okay.
Later on, what we're going to do later on is we'll completely cover the canvas with that medium and wipe most of the medium off and then use the soft brushes.
Oh, okay. So if I've been using just mostly the oils without medium, it's okay to do the lean medium over that?
We're going to be using fat medium over it.
Oh, okay. Also, I'm not coming into class next Thursday. We're going to be in Pennsylvania visiting my mother-in-law, so
okay.
I'll have to watch the class, so that's why I was asking ahead in case I
okay.
Ahead. So what should I work on for next? What should I work on then? Just continue getting the values and colorings then?
Get the values and the colors. We're going to be using those softer brushes for the details later on.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
Gail, what's a hockey brush?
I pronounce it a hake brush, but I guess you're supposed to pronounce it hockey. Hake.
Uh-huh.
Here, I'll show you.
What's it look like?
It looks like this. They come in different sizes. They usually, the way I bought it, it was all 4 of these were in one package, and it was like $5 for the package.
Okay.
So they're a rough brush, and I think that's what Ann could use for the rough texture of his husband's beard until we get further along,
Okay, got it. Yeah, I've got some of those. All right.
It's a Japanese brush, and I guess they pronounce it hockey.
I'm off for the night. Take
Okay,
care,
good night,
everybody.
Elaine.
Next
You
week.
held up
Thank
pretty
you.
well. You held up. All right,
Thanks.
it's time for us
next
all
week.
to go. See you all later. It was fun working with you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good week.